Hello, my name is John Bessman, and today I'll be going through my DSARI project. So, some background information on my dorm is I live on Pioneer Hall, which is on campus. Pioneer Hall is 5 floors tall. It has its own dining hall. Me, I was pretty fortunate. I lived by myself in a single dorm. Pioneer Hall was built in 1930, but has recently been renovated in 2019. Dorms in Pioneer Hall are 200 square feet big, and most dorms on average consume 30.2 electrical energy. Some background information, the items I chose were my light bulb, my mini fridge, my fan, my blow dryer, my lamp, my Alexa, my computer charger, and my microwave. So in this assignment, focus on three different types of power. Focus on variable powers, which are powers from devices which are devices that consume different amounts of electricity depending on the amount of usage. Some examples of these are your refrigerators, your hair dryers, or your air conditioners. The next power that I focus on is constant power, which are devices that consume the same amount of power regardless of usage, like light bulbs, heaters, or toasters. And then the last power was phantom power, which is electricity consumed by devices that are not being used. Some examples of this are TVs and computers. Okay, so this are pictures of my devices plugged into my kilowatt, my U card. And then how did I check my devices? Well, for me, this was pretty simple since I live in a single. Anytime I'd use one of my devices, like my fan or my hair dryer, I would just, I would first record it. I'll record the time on my phone, and then I would put in my notes app. And when I was done, I just updated all of them into my table, which you'll see next. Okay, here's my hours log. Anywhere there was a zero, that means I didn't use that item that day. Or if it's an NA, that means it's a variable power device. Okay, so here's my data. Okay, comparisons. When looking at everything, it seems like I was pretty spot on mostly, except with my blow dryer. And one hypothesis I have with this is that I use my blow dryer on a low setting, so that's why it could be so much lower than the average. But most things were pretty. Oh, and also my lamp. I think that the average I found was the average of like a light bulb lamp, and I, I'm assuming since mine is so much lower, that my lamp is an LED lamp. So that could be one reason why it's lower too. Okay, for results and analysis. So for my variable power and devices, the way I found the numbers was I I took my kilowatt meter, I plugged in my device, and then I found my number in kilowatts, and I took that number and I converted it to watts by dividing it by the total amount of hours and then multiplying it by 1,000. Like for example, the microwave is 0.0088 kilowatts. I divided that by 24 to find each day, and I multiplied it by 1,000 to, to change it to watts. In a second, I calculated the amount of watts used per day. So I took the amount of watts and I multiplied it by 24. And then for my constant power devices, I took my total time and I divided it by 7. So for example, for my fan, I used it 75.82 hours this week, divided by 7 to find my watts per day. And then for kilowatts, or for the second step, sorry, was I multiplied by my average to find my kilowatts per day, as you see below. And a big improvement I could use would probably be to cut down on my fan. Well, the reason why my fan is so high is because I sleep with my fan on. Honestly, I can't really sleep without it on. But one thing I could potentially do would be to open my window during the nighttime, especially during winter, let's just cut it down. Because if I cut down my fan usage by 5 hours, I'll save 110 watts, which is about 24% of my energy consumption, which is huge. But yeah, these are my references. Thank you for watching. I learned a lot and will be looking into my energy in the future. Thank you.